Congratulations! We have received our first challenge. We have a puzzle cube that we need to solve. To succeed, we will need to familiarize ourselves with some selection and movement tools. To select an object, click on it with your left mouse button. It will be highlighted in orange. We can add to the selection by holding down Shift and clicking on another object. Note something important in Blender. Among the selected object, the last one selected will be brighter in orange and called active. Among several already selected objects, the last one that is clicked again with Shift plus left mouse button will become active. Clicking on the active again will deselect it. Remember this for later. Let's get to know the toolbar. Various tools in Blender are accessible here, some of which we would normally find in the menus or as different keyboard shortcuts. It's easy to get started with them, so let's stick with them as much as possible in this course. The first tool in the tools bar is Selection Mode. A long press on the tool will reveal different selection modes. The first is Tweak. Simply touch and move the object. It won't help us much at this stage, it's more useful in modeling. The second is Select Box. Allow us to draw a selection area by holding down the left mouse button. Everything inside the square will be selected. The third is Select Circle, which allows us to select everything with the circle radius, like painting with a brush. The fourth is the lasso that gives us the freedom to mark any shape we want to select. I will choose the select box for now. Great, we learned how to select, and now we will learn how to move. Right after the selection tool, we will skip the cursor for now, but we promise to come back to it, are the transformation tools. Move tool allows us to move the selected object. When the tool is active, a 3-axis gizmo appears on the selected object. Clicking on the white circle in the center with the left mouse button will allow us to move the object freely from our point of view. If we want to confirm the movement, we will release the left button. If we regret it, a right click will cancel the action. A left click with the mouse on one of the axes and dragging will move the object on that axis. It's important to note here the importance of working from a specific angle. If we look from the side, it seems we are not even moving it in the right direction. Amazing! We entered 1 and 3 are left to go. Except for the 3 axis arrows, we have 3 squares that allow us to move 2 axes at once. Currently, I'm moving on X and Y axes together. In this case, I want to move on the X and Z axes. And I have put it in its place. For the next cube, we will need the following tool. The Rotate tool allows us to rotate either freely from the white circle based on our view angle, or on a specific axis. In this case, the white axis. I will rotate it and put it in place. Lastly, we will move the cube. We will go to top view, arrange it, but this time it seems too big. We can use the third tool, which is the scale, to enlarge or reduce on a specific axis. But most of the time, we want to enlarge or reduce on all axes together. Great! The last tool that we will only mention is actually a combination of all the 3 combined. The Properties editing window displays relevant information about the last selected object. If we look at the attributes of the object that we moved in the 3D space, here, in the Object Properties Transforms, we can see the changes we have made to the object. Here, we can enter precise values. For example, if I wanted to rotate the cube 90 degrees around the Z-axis, or move it 2 meters along the X-axis. Right-click on the value and selecting Reset All Default Values will return everything to its default state. And even if we want to precisely set the scale to 1:1:1, it can be done here. Excellent! You now know everything you need to select and manipulate objects in space. Let's try to solve the cube, and we promise you will become a movement wizard after that. See you in the next lesson.